Welcome to The Doctor and the Dork. I'm Olivia.
And this is Frank.
And this is our first podcast, and I think it's probably going to be really bad and deleted, and you'll probably never hear this, but on the off chance that you do, here we are.
Yes, welcome to the podcast. This is our first time trying this, and let's get the show on the road.
Okay. All right. So to kick things off, we're going to start off with some aliens. And the first thing I'd like to ask our audience and Frankie is, what do you envision aliens to look like? Do you presume they're little green guys?
I'm not really into the whole green guy idea. I'm thinking of a large gray alien for some reason.
Does he have multiple heads, eyes, tentacles coming out of his face?
I'm thinking very like us. So nothing too out of this world. And my whole idea was, the other day, I was listening to another podcast, and they brought up the idea of aliens, and I believe actually it was a Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah. See how we managed to sneak that in there in the first 2 minutes? You're welcome, Joe Rogan. We'll take any sponsorship you'd like to pay.
So, he was talking about space, and someone said that if there is intelligent life out there, they haven't even probably found us because we're in such a small part of space. And Olivia here questioned whether or not we even know what an alien looks like.
Yeah, I think the aliens could be among us. I don't know, everybody wants to pretend that they're so far away and that they do all these crazy things, but, maybe not. For all I know, Frank's an alien, and this is his cover by saying, oh no, if they exist, they're in a world we don't even know about.
Yeah, I'm just not thinking they're out there right now. They're probably on another side of the galaxy, universe, whatever we actually, I don't know.
What do you think when they, some people pose that, the different carvings and the different stacks of rocks in certain places and, the old Mayan carving things that they were done by aliens.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about that? Do you think maybe they were hey, they came, they checked out planet Earth for a little bit, and they're okay, that's cool, let's bring it back over into the other universe?
No, I'm thinking it's definitely more of a lost civilization type deal, and it wasn't aliens that got us kickstarted.
Could it not, though, be that the lost civilization are the aliens?
Ooh, isn't this the premise of the whole last Indiana Jones?
Well, it's hard to say because I've never seen Indiana Jones. The most I know about Indiana Jones
Blasphemy, get out of
here.
here.
The Rugrats had a PS2 PlayStation games, and one time Tommy Pickles was Indiana Jones, and that's my extent of knowledge. Anyways, moving on. So we have mentioned this topic before in our conversation, and then I posed, what do aliens eat? Because this also brings up the topic. When I do see proposed images of what aliens look like, I've never seen a butthole on the alien. So therefore, maybe they don't eat. Initially I thought maybe they ate rocks amongst other things. But now I'm kind of thinking maybe they just don't eat.
No, they gotta eat.
But why do you say that? See, this closed-minded thinking, this is the issue with our nation.
No. This definitely...
Plants don't eat per se, they photosynthesize, and if aliens are green, they
still absorb.
Well, listen up.
But they still absorb things.
Whatever science organization would like to hire me, is the reason aliens are green is because somebody knew they were performing photosynthesis. They're little solar powered creatures.
Oh, hell
don't you think that's a possibility?
No, not a chance.
So you don't think there's mitochondria or whatever inside of the alien giving them life, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I think...
How do you think aliens reproduce?
Ooh, that's going to be weird because if they're advanced enough to be floating around in space, right? Mm-hmm. There's a good chance that they're just genetically engineering their population at that point.
Meaning what? How does one genetically engineer their population?
They just start growing test tube babies, so no one's actually born anymore. So they don't have to give birth.
Which also leads back to
cloning.
I've never seen a butthole on an alien. You know what else I've never seen on an alien before?
A dick.
Or a vagina. Which makes the reproductive process very tricky.
Yeah, I'm thinking cloning.
That's possible. Do you think aliens only drive circular objects?
No, that seems too simple. Not? I bet their circular objects are just for space. I bet they drive other stuff.
You think so?
Yeah, they have to. There's no way. You know how boring just a circular object would be? That'd be like being forced to drive one car the same shape for the rest of your life.
Well, to be fair, babe, we've been driving the same shaped cars for about as long as humans have been around. And there's some slight variation, but there's 2 wheels on the front, 2 wheels on the back. You know, the trunk in the back. Once in a while, you go in those weird cars that got the trunk in the front. But either way, the shape of it's still pretty similar.
Well, no. So we got planes, we have cars, we have boats, you have bikes.
Sure.
So you've got different modes of transportation right there. I think it's very possible they do have the same stuff. Just like that. Different vehicles for different scenarios.
I have a lot more questions on this topic, and I'm going to ask at least one, but then we should probably move on to something else.
We're stuck on this right now.
Do you think aliens are smarter than we are?
100%.
Do you? Why?
Because I'm willing to bet if we've come this far in 100 years, we must... If they have 1,000 years on us, I mean, we probably look like monkeys rubbing sticks together. Like, we're actually... I mean, we're still busy nuking each other into the ground. We're not actually nuking.
I have a way better question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think if there were aliens, it would support the God theory or the evolution theory? And if it was the evolution theory, I'd like you to describe the lineage as to the development of aliens.
What the fuck kind of question?
That's a pretty good question, right?
That is a crazy ass question.
Have you ever thought about it?
No.
Well, not
so yes. I'm willing to bet it's going to be natural selection. So they'll have been genetic. I wouldn't say God. It wouldn't be God.
Okay, well, you don't think in one universe he was like, okay, here's Adam and Eve, and in the other universe he's like, I can see that's going to be a fucking shit show, so over here in universe B, I'm going to put you aliens. Because otherwise, are you suggesting that there was a mutation in the human code that has turned them into aliens?
No, I'm willing to bet that exactly how we came around.
Willing to bet, you say. How much are you willing to bet?
How much? I will give you your own water bottle.
Oh, deal.
That's about it. So I would say that they probably started up just like we did. But I'm willing to bet they have a jump on us. Because if they're already floating around out there and we can't detect them, that either means they don't exist or they're so freaking advanced that we just can't pick them up.
I could go on that for another hour, but maybe we'll save that for another time.
All right, you conspiracy theorists. No more aliens. We're done with that.
Next, I think maybe Frank and I will tell a little bit about ourselves. I'm going to let Frankie kick off that segment.
Hi, so I go by Frank or Frankie. And I work in HVAC controls. I served in the Army for 4 years, so did a whole lot less than others. So thank you to everyone out there that's serving. And yeah, I am into some really nerdy shit. I picked it up while I was in the Army, so I started playing some D&D. I got into Magic at the time, and being a 90s child, I grew up on Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Star Wars. So those are my childhood, and those have really come into a lot into my life. So how about you, Olivia?
So I am a pharmacist. I went to pharmacy school and worked in the hospital for a year, post-grad doing residency, but now I'm more in the research realm of pharmaceutical development and real-world evidence. So when you see the doctor, I'm not a medical doctor, so all you medical doctors out there listen to this podcast, you probably identify more with the dorky side, because let's keep it real. But yeah, now I'm just a doctor of pharmacy, so I just want to make that distinction for all the medical doctor haters out there. But I'm not really into Dungeons and Dragons and Magic. The most gaming I ever did was Tony Hawk Pro Skater, Rugrats, and Spyro. The Spyro's kind of dragony, which is kind of like Dungeons and Dragons. So
Jesus Christ! All right, I'm gonna stop you there.
Oh, maybe you want to know how Frank and I met. This will be a good shtick.
Oh.
You say, on the count of 3, we're going to say where we met, because last time Frankie messed it up, so this would be a good chance. It's hard when you meet so many women. 1, 2, 3, Hinge. He said Bumble last time. We met on Hinge. You want to know what we did for our first date?
No.
We went to dinner which was fine. And then we went rock climbing.
Oh, yeah, I did take you rock climbing.
And I know what you're thinking. Wow, you guys must both be, like, really fit that's what you did for... No, I was not very fit. I had never rock climbed a day in my life. But, you know, he seemed all right. So I figured it would hurt to do a little rock climbing. And, yeah, here we are now.
Turned out to be pretty damn good, I have to say. So, we just recently decided that we were going to start this podcast. And, yeah, here we are just kind of going for it. So, whatever critique you guys have, we are more than open to it.
Hey, we're only at 10 minutes. We could have done a lot more on the alien topic.
I know. So, we're going to switch gears. Pun intended. So, just recently, we got Olivia into riding on the motorcycle. Now, I started riding when I was younger. I did some riding while I was in the military, and I have always been on more of a sport bike person. I recently got my BMW, and it's an R1200R. It's a very, very nice bike.
Hope everybody's picking up on the humble brags in here.
Oh my god, get out of here. So anyway, I particularly enjoy this bike. It is great for just overall dynamics. It is great in every field.
BMW, you want to sponsor us? We'll throw you an ad.
So, but yeah, I'm just a big fan of it. And it also doubles as a very good ride for myself and a passenger. So, I don't know, Olivia, what do you think of it so far? You've been riding for, I think, 3 weeks now?
Yeah, sure. I enjoy riding on the BMW motorcycle. It is difficult for me to give it a fair comparative review, as this was the first motorcycle I've ever ridden on and only motorcycle I've ridden on. But yeah, I think it's been going pretty good. Today, Frankie decided it'd be fun to see how fast we could go on the highway without a fair warning. His warning was taking my hand and wrapping it slightly more around his waist, which I thought maybe we were passing somebody or something. Nope. Just full throttle going for it. And you know, it's weird because usually when somebody gets in front of me in the passing lane, I'm immediately angry. Maybe we can talk about road rage sometimes.
Oh,
but
geez.
When you're cruising on the motorcycle that fast and somebody gets in front of you, I'm thinking, thank God, because my neck's about to explode. My head's about to go flying into the air like a bowling ball and hit the car behind us. Because my neck muscles don't exist. And what am I going to do? Am I going to intercom over to Frankie and say, hey, you think you can maybe slow down? No, I'm not a pussy. I'm not going to ask him to slow down. But I'm going to think, oh my God, I hope we don't hit a pothole. I hope nothing rolls into the middle of the road. If so, I'm going to be dead so quick. So that's so far my analysis.
Yeah, that is a pretty good analysis. So the reason we were going that fast is because, as I've told Olivia, she will be my undoing, because on the way to her apartment, there is this amazing stretch of road. And anyone who rides a motorcycle can agree that a nice, flat, like, you know it's flat, you've driven it 1,000 times, and it is just a perfect straightaway. There's nowhere for police or anything, so you can just kind of let loose on the motorcycle. It is fantastic. And we were taking this route home, and I decided that we should see what the motorcycle could do with the two of us on it. So, yeah, we got up to about 130 again. That was...
I was going to ask you how fast. I always kind of want to look, but then I'm afraid I'm going to tip us over if I lean too far.
No, yeah, we got up to, I think it was like 130, 135. And then we had to slow back down because traffic. People.
Yes, that person who came to the passing lane. I would guess in Frankie's near future, he probably has... I see a faster bike coming into his life because he's going to need to compete with his father and his friends for how fast they go with their significant others on the back. And
yeah, we'll win that. Don't worry.
So
it's just we got this. We got this.
So, you know, we'll have to see. We'll keep you guys posted on that adventure.
So, sorry for the pauses we keep having in here, but so we're just going to finish off with some other little hobbies that we've been picking up. And I'm kind of hoping through this podcast we can make some friends and get some other people onto some new hobbies out there. I mean, I figured it would be...
He's very optimistic.
I am very optimistic about how this podcast is going to come out. So our newest big kick has been getting into tennis and hiking. We've been trying to do tennis a couple times a week and at least one new hiking location once a week as well. So this past week we did kind of flounder on the hiking, but we'll start with the tennis. So Olivia here has a Uncle Joe and an Aunt Aya, not an Uncle Aya, who are both very good tennis players apparently. Now neither one of us, well, I haven't seen them play. Allegedly Olivia here has. And I'm convinced that we can beat two people that are in retirement. But truth be told, if anyone were to be watching our tennis performances, they were pretty bad all around. So this could be just me boasting because I'm young, but I think we can still take them, regardless of our skill.
Yeah, I think Frankie is mistaken his ability to sprint quickly for his ability to play tennis, and those aren't necessarily interchangeable. I mean, sure, you need to be able to sprint across the court, but if you still can either A, not hit it back, B, hit it back but hit the net, or C, hit it back but serve it directly to them, none of those things are going to be very helpful. And I can't really talk shit because I don't have the sprinting or the tennis skill down. So really, I just stand there and look pretty.
We get some really good volleys going, though. I mean, we do get up there in, the double digits.
Yeah, but I don't think tennis
volleys.
is meant to volley. I think if you're good at tennis, you hit it a couple times and you've scored a point on your opponent.
Well, that's true. But
same for volleyball.
Being able to volley definitely helps. It at least makes the game a whole lot more entertaining rather than one hitting everything. I mean, I'm sure your aunt and uncle are going to
They're going to destroy us.
Yeah,
they're going to destroy us. They're in their 70s, and I can guarantee you we're going to be lucky to score more than 5 points against them, which is going to be very embarrassing. Because I also realized that while Frankie was saying
to break a hip out there.
He wanted to make friends, I just wanted to say, I'm sure he's going to say, it doesn't matter how old they are or where they're from, but it might help you guys to know how old we are or where we're from in case you are looking to go on a hiking adventure with us. So I, Olivia, am 27, and I currently live in Connecticut, as does Frankie. And
yes.
He's 26, I believe.
Yes, yep, I am 26. And, we're both from Connecticut, and always looking for more people to hike with. Or play tennis. I'd be up for that.
Yeah, you want to talk about some of our hikes?
Where
was our most recent hike? Oh, up in Massachusetts. That hike did not go well, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
Frankie did not steer us very well. He said, babe, I got this 6-mile walk we can do. And I said, all right, that's a little long, but we'll manage.
So I planned out this nice day of hiking for us. And we get out there, and I realized that we were too far away from the starting location I wanted. So we decided to move the car. Now, when we moved the car, we must have missed the turn somewhere, and the hike was to go around a lake. Well, there happens to be multiple lakes, and I didn't pipe up about it, so we just kind of went. And turns out we were hiking the wrong lake, and to top it off, we most definitely got lost at least twice, because we ended up doing a second lap around that first lake based off of Olivia's advice. To which I just let her pick the way, and she was like, it's going to circle back. It did, in fact, not circle back. All right? That was just a long but short hike, if that makes sense. Because you could see end to end this one lake. But the other lake was supposed to be really scenic.
We'll never know.
Yeah, no. We'll have to save it for another week.
That hike was okay. I'd have to say the second worst hike after that is the one we did with the friend group at that pond thing where we also got lost.
Oh, yeah.
It had the potential to be a very nice hike, and it was not.
Yeah, so we took off into the woods following the trail, and then we were hell-bent on getting to this lookout. We're down by Norwich somewhere. Yeah. And we get to that, what we think is the end of the hike, and upon getting there, Olivia and I have never hiked this. The rest of our friends have. And they're like, this isn't the spot. Realizing that we were just completely off. We were on the wrong hilltop. So we decided we were going to dead reckon our way through the woods, to which one of our friends' girlfriend decided to, she was going to start following the game trail. Yeah, so she blazes a trail by following the deer droppings. Now, keep in mind, ain't nobody in this group know how to follow some freaking deer droppings except for her. So this led us on quite the merry chase through the woods to end up in goddamn nowhere.
No.
Nowhere near our destination before we finally gave up.
I'd also like to point out that the lookout didn't look out very much.
No, it did not. Well, we didn't even get to it.
Oh, we didn't get to the real lookout? I know
no.
we found one kind of thing we stopped at, but...
Yeah, no, we stopped there because they thought that was it, and it wasn't. And then we had to follow deer trails back.
I see.
Beyond that, though, we started off our hiking this year. We did a couple of cold weather hikes. And now that the weather has improved, we're looking at doing like one new hike a week using the app All Trails. So, really good hiking app.
All Trails, looking for an app, looking for a
sponsor.
sponsor.
Do we have to beg any harder? Come on, do we? So, we were just looking for different hiking spots. So if you guys have any hiking ideas, you'll have to let us know, which will include ways to get a hold of us at the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
Now, I think the last thing we have to hit on here is that we planned on doing the news. And not really the news as in reporting it, but the news as in reporting on some... We find ourselves very common, and we can find middle ground on a great many of things, though we're on, I would say, opposite.
Recently, I think we found some things we more so disagree with, but I think it's good. I think it's very important to discuss with people that you disagree with, because even if you don't agree with their side, it's valuable to understand their side. And
we both definitely try.
But that's not what this is about. We're not going to talk about the real news. We're just going to talk about what infuriates us about.
We're going to talk about all the things in the world that we all can agree that when you take a look at your phone and you open up that news app, which we all look at it, much like the weather, at least, a dozen times a day.
Frankie loves looking at the weather app. Some people like to do drugs on an obsessive-compulsive basis. Frankie likes to check the weather and then be mad when it's wrong.
Yes, yeah,
that's his thing.
But anyway, so weather aside, we hate checking the news and seeing nothing but crappy news or some of the most idiotic titles that you can possibly think of.
That's usually what gets me. You see, I rely on getting my news from only reading the headline, which obviously there's issues involved with that. But recently, the headlines have been out of control, and the one that actually quickly comes to mind is Frankie sent me an article yesterday that said something about coronavirus, blah-de-blah-blah, coming back with a vengeance. All right?
Back with a vengeance.
Back with a vengeance. So I'm like, all right, I'll read this article and see what kind of vengeance it's coming back with. Guess what? There was no vengeance. All it was the same coronavirus that was there in the first place. It's just coming back. Not with a vengeance, just at the same baseline. And it very much bothers me, these article titles, because it's like, for the majority of us that are only reading the headlines, we're not able to get as much out of it as we need to.
No, yeah, so the headlines really are just terrible these days because you have no idea what you're getting when you open these up. And I say that as I'm looking through this right now to see if there's anything that just really sends me over the edge. And one of the funny ones that I saw in here was the army bases are finally getting rid of Confederate names. The military is so standalone. Like, they really try and distance themselves from a lot of the political atmosphere. And it's just comical that it's taking them this long to do this. Now, I'm not saying they should have gotten rid of them years ago, but you kind of figured they would have already been expecting this and been like, all right, we're jumping off this boat. The fact that this needs to be a title is, actually crazy.
What else I've been seeing out in the news is pictures of statues being taken down, but they say, without warning, in the middle of the night, the statue was just taken down. And I wonder, is that true? Did nobody know when somebody with a pulley system just come through and lift that statue right off? Also, why are there so many statues? Here's my personal opinion on the statues, is that the issue is not that we're taking the statues down. The issue is that the statues were built in the first place. Ain't nobody important enough to have a statue built after them.
That is, no. The statues is, I don't really feel
unless you're
as
like
strongly
an artist
about them.
Do you like the statues?
No, I'm not really against them, and I'm not really for them. I mean, I guess it's up to the community that they're based in.
Do we build statues these days?
Yeah, we still.
Like, who's them? I'd love somebody write in when we provide you an email. Really, I want to know the most recent person that a statue was built after. You're telling me there's statues of Obama around.
Oh, yeah.
You think Bernie has any statues?
Oh, I bet there's a couple of them in California.
Really? Statues? Yeah. Like concrete, whatever.
I bet some artists probably did it themselves. I don't think it's like some state sanctioned.
We're going to need to fact check that later. How many?
There's no way nobody's made a Bernie cast of some kind or a statue.
What do you think Bernie's wearing in his statue? Do you think he's wearing glasses?
Oh, 100%. He's got his glasses. He's got that old man hunch that he always has.
Also,
and
P.S.
he's 100% got a baller-ass coat on.
If you have a sign in your front lawn, and whatever that sign is regarding, the decision on that sign has came and gone, it's time to remove that sign from your lawn. Now, that could be voting on the school budget, where you don't want Chicken Patty Day removed from the lunch menu. If you have, I am for chicken patties in your front lawn, and the school lunch voting day has passed, it's time to take down that sign. If you have a Bernie 20 thing up in your lawn.
I think 2024 would be the next one because he's out of this one.
Right, it's time to take it down because now if you have a bumper sticker, bumper stickers are a lot like tattoos. They're there for life and you can remove them, but someone's always going to know it was there.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel for Bernie because I'm not super loving that Biden's in there, but you know what?
I also did like the saying, feel the burn.
Yeah, I know.
That was classic.
I may not have agreed with everything that Bernie was selling, but you know what? I could at least judge that he's not a bad guy.
If you had to write in somebody, who would you write?
I would honestly pick Bernie over Biden because...
really?
I don't think anybody's
I thought you'd write in, like, Joe Rogan.
No. Joe Rogan would be a terrible president.
You think so?
Oh, yeah, he'd be a terrible president. Just because he's really good at talking to people, and that's about it. I mean, I don't know. He would be a really good negotiator. He would be very vocal. And
I feel like he'd listen to the people.
Yeah, he would listen to the people. I don't think he would listen to the everyday people. I think he would be really good about listening to his board.
I think he would listen to the people too much. Like, he would be like, I don't know how I'm ever going to make a decision.
No. If it was like him and Oprah Winfrey.
Oh, Oprah, we're voting for you. You with Vice President Joe Rogan. We know who I'm writing in on this year's ballot.
There we go. Yeah, Oprah for president and Joe Rogan for VP. That would just about satisfy the country, I think.
You know what? I bet if that were on the ballot, I bet they get a lot more votes than people would like to admit.
Yeah, I mean, look, if Trump can win it, then you know what? Oprah and Rogan are both loaded. I'd
almost say if Oprah were to run, she'd have a pretty good chance.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, she's well liked.
That's what
and she's not super radical. Here's the thing, though. I think you'd be able to get people on the right to go lean across the aisle.
Do you think when she got up there on the podium, she'd be like, "You get a car, and you get a car"? That'd be like her platform to which she ran on.
You get some freedom. She would 100% have to play that out.
I don't think I've listened to Oprah recently, so hard to say, though, to be honest. Have you listened to Oprah recently?
No, but I mean, I get the Oprah for men. That's just Joe Rogan. All right, so what else did we have to look over here? Oh, here's one that actually bothers me. Okay. Just a quick news title that is gone completely under the radar thanks to, coronavirus and the George Floyd protests, for all the racial injustice in the country. So, I mean, we've all been hell-bent on just focusing on that. So, apparently, Russia has had a world-class oil or a diesel spill up near the Arctic Circle. And I'm looking at one as of today, I believe, was it the 9th?
Yeah.
Of June. And, fails to stop fuel seeping into Arctic Lake, and it may hit nature reserve. Like, they've just royally screwed up. And
they kind of lucked out that all this other stuff
I know.
Was going on.
And you got to scroll for like a solid minute before you even get to that article.
You know what I would appreciate if somebody could write into the podcast about how can I filter my news? Like, is there a way I can turn off coronavirus news?
Oh my God. That would actually be
Also, did
super
anybody
helpful.
see the strawberry moon the other night? Because I know we didn't look.
No, yeah, we took the time to see that and then didn't even look.
Yeah.
Ain't that something?
That's tragic.
Well, all right, guys. So we're coming up on our 30-minute mark here. I think we're going to wrap up for the day. It was nice talking to everybody.
On our next podcast, maybe we'll talk about the Mediterranean diet.
Ooh, and how that's going, because
Yeah.
we've been doing that for coming up
We're
on a month.
wicked lame.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to talk about. We didn't prepare for this one, so to tell you what we're going to talk about next time's out of the picture.
But we will see you guys next time. Have a good night.
See ya.
Bye.